Jack Doherty spent years harassing the public, antagonizing others, and being a self-entitled man-child who's willing to cross any boundary for content.
Okay. Oh! Oh! No! No! No!
But now, he's finally getting what he deserves. He's been perma-banned from Kick, his girlfriend McKinley broke up with him.
It's like my girlfriend called the cops on me. I can't believe what's happening right now. Girls are, the fake, you guys wouldn't even believe it. Bro, you called the cops on me in my own house after I've done everything.
And if that wasn't bad enough, he's also running out of the money he earned by selling his soul.
Everything, bro. When I met this girl, I was making $1.5 million a month. Now, I'm making probably a tenth of that. Like, what the?
But even that's not the end of his downfall, since he's desperately trying to farm sympathy points by pretending to act miserable.
I love her, and she's my girlfriend. That's why I've been with her for the past 2 years. You know, it's like, I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna be with someone I don't love or don't think I would be with in the future. And I don't think it's something like we can't overcome.
And faking a robbery.
I just got robbed on Rodeo Drive. 4 armed guys hopped out of their car, ripped both my chains off my neck.
Unfortunately for Jack, the internet couldn't care less. Every day when Jack is having a bad day is a good day. I've been waiting for this moment for years. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we're diving back into the never-ending demise of Jack Doherty, how he's continuing to dig his own grave, all while posting it online for everyone to see. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with the Jack Doherty saga, here's a super quick recap to get you up to speed. His much-awaited downfall began with him crashing his car after trying to read his stream chat while flooring it in the rain. He's since been caught viewbotting his streams.
Okay, Jack Doherty with the views. Look at robot views. Okay, let's see stable Ronaldo. Okay, let's see. Oh, whoa.
Exposed for scamming his remaining viewers with a crypto rug pull.
I'm buying McLaren coin. All right, let's go. I just bought 5 soul. Worth. Let's see.
And perma-banned from Kick after he got into a fight with a stream sniper.
They're getting chips everywhere.
More recently, his girlfriend McKinley broke up with him and left him without his biggest source of income, which was her OF account.
Just use me for fucking money. For real. For sure. I never thought it would be possible, but it's obvious. It's like no bitch flips like that in 24 hours, changes their passwords to absolutely everything, calls the cops on me to take all their shit, and like that. Like, who the fuck does that after I've done everything for this?
That's where we left off in my last video, and things have only gotten messier since, starting with Jack's complete inability to decide on the narrative he wants to portray. He went from accusing McKinley of using him for his money.
Don't even know her. It's insane. Like, evil, bro. She's been plotting this shit for a minute. This just used me for fucking money. For real. For sure.
To putting on a sad face and talking about how much he still loved her the very next morning.
I love her, and she's my girlfriend. That's why I've been with her for the past 2 years. You know, it's like, I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna be with someone I don't love or don't think I would be with in the future.
Now, you'd be forgiven for thinking that maybe these were his real feelings. After all, he looked genuinely distraught by the sudden breakup. But make no mistake, the only thing Jack really cares about is the content, which is why he changed his tune once again, and went from practically begging McKinley to come back to getting a new girlfriend who looks like McKinley's long-lost twin sister named Christiana Sansone. But when this new relationship failed to get the attention he was looking for, Jack moved on to his next genius plan. One that involved a potentially fake crime. On the 7th of May 2025, he posted a video titled, "I got robbed for $300,000, in which he told the story of how he was robbed of his 2 diamond chains worth $300,000 in broad daylight while in the middle of a crowded area.
Rob me, they took both my fucking chains, bro. Dog. James, what the bro?
They had a gun.
Where's yours? What the bro? Like, why don't... What the dog?
And while he did call the police and file an official report,
It was 2 diamond chains, like $300,000.
They touch you?
Yeah,
Yes.
bleeding. One of them with 100K, one of them with 200K.
Many people are convinced that he's lying about the whole incident, with comments like, no bruises or cuts from being knocked down, no scratches or red marks from chains being ripped off. He is very calm despite having, quote, guns pointed at him. Yeah, this is all lies. And that doesn't look like someone who's just been robbed, looks like someone who's filed a false police report and is instantly regretting it. What's crazy is that these accusations might turn out to be true. There's plenty of evidence pointing towards the whole thing being a fake stunt for attention, or as some people suspect, insurance fraud. For starters, Jack Doherty, the streamer who goes out of his way to film the lowest points of his life without a second thought, was somehow not filming when the robbery happened. Not to mention the fact that his story is full of holes and contradictions. For instance, at one point, he mentions getting tackled to the ground by the robbers.
That was a setup for sure, bro. It's too perfect. I walk out and they're right there, bro. Three or four of them just tackling me to the ground.
But then immediately changes his story to where he was pinned against a wall.
Pinned up against the wall like this, and I see my chains right there in this guy's hand, and I'm being pushed like this. Some other guy's going at my watch, and I'm like trying to fight him off.
But that's not all, because he changed the story once again and started talking about getting chased by the robbers instead.
Dude, he was chasing me around the road trying to get my watch off. And I don't know which way to go, bro. Because if I go too far away, he's gonna just get me alone, and I have a broken collarbone, so I can't even fight this guy.
His ex, who's known him for years, thinks that he made it all up as well.
So he got his chain yapped. No, I just want to get your opinion.
Okay.
For people that don't know, and this is up to you, but it just feels staged.
I feel like it's staged. I'm not gonna lie.
Put simply, most people aren't buying the robbery narrative, and the ones that do believe his story have zero sympathy for him either, with comments like, are the robbers okay? I hope they got home safe. Couldn't have happened to a better person, flooding his video. Jack's career is unraveling right in front of his eyes, and every attempt he's made to remedy the situation has backfired horribly. One of these attempts was his appearance on the No Jumper podcast with Adam22. Judging by his tone and mannerisms, it's obvious he's trying to come off as a changed man, someone who learned from his mistakes and is ready to move on.
I feel like the last time that we did the podcast, you were doing your thing, but it feels like a lot has changed since then.
Yeah, I was a little crazy back then.
Unfortunately for Jack, this podcast felt less like his redemption arc and more like an extended self-snitching session, where instead of outright denying the allegations of him recruiting girls that barely turned 18 for his OF business, he claims that, quote, most are older than him.
As if you're like only management shit was like primarily like aimed at getting girls who are like fresh out of high school. Was that like a fake narrative from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, most of the girls I work with are like older than me, even, like a lot of them.
At one point, he also mentioned that McKinley didn't start her OF until 6 months into their relationship. This was his way of trying to shut down the accusations that he only got with her for her online earnings. However, this backfired spectacularly when McKinley revealed that she only started this business because Jack blackmailed her into it.
He told me he'd send me back home if I didn't, so I did it.
No.
Swear.
Now, I should mention that McKinley didn't provide any proof to back up this claim, but given Jack's track record, it's not hard to imagine him actually doing something like this, just to get the thing he loves above all else, money. Even when George Janko tried to call him out on this, his response essentially boiled down to, quote, because money.
This is a version of pimping. You're pimping these girls out. You don't think that's attacking your heart in any way?
No, because at the end of the day, they all, you know, they already like want to do what they're doing, and it's just like I just actually make the money doing it, because there are so many girls that actually do OnlyFans and make, you know, $0 and stuff, and they're doing it all for what, you know? It's like every girl I work with makes like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month and millions of dollars a year, you know?
That being said, McKinley, for all her complaints about Jack, isn't much better either. Whether she was initially blackmailed by Jack or not, she eventually leaned into it hard, going as far as to use literal minors to promote her OF content.
I'm taking that Eurus.
Eurus?
Yep.
All right. Would you rather have this girl or this McLaren? McLaren? Oh, okay. All right. Well, sorry.
After leaving Jack, she also started showing up on FaZe Lacey's stream, and it looked like the two of them really hit it off.
I don't know what's more beautiful, the fireworks or you. That was a good one, right? That was good.
Jack even tried to get McKinley's attention by donating to Lacey.
Oh
Oh my god.
Doherty Jack, thank you for the 25 gifted.
Thank you. Of course.
Thank you for the.
But as it turned out, she was only hanging out with him for clout. Once she had what she needed, she disappeared and stopped replying to Lacey, all while also using a picture of them two together as promo on her OF, forcing Lacey to clarify the situation in a tweet reading, "The fact I even have to make this tweet is insane. I am being used as clickbait. I'm not in any pictures or videos. Please do not fall for this BS and get scammed. My legal team and I will be getting it removed immediately. Don't believe everything you see on the internet." However, while this behavior hints that she might not be entirely blameless in how things fell apart with Jack, that isn't going to save his career at this point either. He'll likely continue to become more and more irrelevant with each passing day, until no one is interested in talking about him, no matter how many controversial stunts he tries to pull. Alternatively, if the robbery does turn out to be fake, he could actually face criminal charges for obstruction of emergency services, or something along those lines, and maybe even end up in jail. That being said, make sure you subscribe to stay updated on the situation, as things look like they're going to get a whole lot worse.